Uh, I'm. I can't hear anything.
Hi, Terry. Good morning to you. So, welcome everyone to today's show, and we have Terry here. And again, reminder to everyone to please mute your mic so that we can hear Terry talk today. Was that anyone able to hear me? Terry, did you hear that? Okay. Thank you, Jules and Mermaid Vampire.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Terry, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, okay. I was saying that I'm sorry that I'm late. I was in another conversation. A conversation just happened before this call, and it ended up, growing and eating into the time. But I'm here now. Thank you for patience. Um, okay. Okay, so today things are not very organized, but it was this the show will still go on. Um, I don't know if what we will do is I'd like us to start with a song. No, not that anyone is going to sing. I'm going to play a song first. It will just take 5 minutes or so. Just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment.
Okay. I am here to sing a song for you, oh Terry boy, to give you thanks for what you did and gives a helping hands. You motivates us, you're there to inspire us, and gave your time to guide us here for the benefits of us. Thank you for wonderful opportunities you brought in my life. I am surpassion, I am inspired, I am unstoppable, and thanks for making us stronger. Thanks for your loves, teardrops and esteem gigs, and we will promise you that we will here continuing support you. And I will sing this song for you, and this is my thank you for believing and trusting us and bring out the best in us. You motivates us, you're there to inspire us. And baby, time to guide us here for the benefits of us. Thank you for wonderful opportunities you brought in my life. I am so passion, I am inspired, I am unstoppable, and thanks for making us stronger. Thanks for you, loves, teardrops and distant deeds, and we will promise you that we will here continuing support you. I am so passionate, I am inspired, I am unstoppable, and thanks for making us stronger. Thanks for you, loves, teardrops and distant deeds, and we will promise you that we will here continuing support you. We will here continuing support you.
Okay, thank you. Um, can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, okay. Yes, I just needed to get in the zone because I'm having like terrible times. So I'm ready now. Before this talk, there was another talk. It ended up lasting more than 1 hour. So that was what caused the delay. Um, so let's see. I apologize. So we will. Let me see. I'm not really organized for today. I don't know. I'm wondering where to start. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Today I wanted to touch on something that may. Let me see. Just a moment. I wanted to answer like a question. Um, and I'm sure this question many people in the community may have asked, or maybe in, or maybe we can consider it an unpopped question. Unpopped question. If you read my last post, that refers to questions that were never formed. They stay in the mind, but were never processed and played out. Sometimes solutions, like giant solutions, reside in unpopped questions. And sometimes we may never be able to pop the questions until someone pops it for us or perceives of it and then answers it. Anyway, you will understand what I'm saying as we proceed when I explain like the video, the video on the YouTube channel. Okay, but I just want to touch on this question. It has to do with community. A member of the community was concerned about, the future of Steem, Steemit, especially in relation to um, us and what role we and whether we have a voice. His concern was, or it's not only his concern, there was an entire post about it where what was discussed is like Steam's approach when it comes to mainstreamity. Why is Steemit not um, why is Steemit not on fire when it comes to like marketing or rapid growth and stuff like that? Where is Steemit headed if they're not concerned about sustaining? They're not really concerned about user growth for Steemit.com. Hello? 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 Hello?
Sorry, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yes, we can
Okay,
hear you.
okay. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
not.
I've
Yeah,
already muted the person.
okay,
Sorry.
the question is not so organized. But when I answer it, you'll understand. You'll be able to create the question. It's not. It's just very general. But when I answer it, you'll be able to create the question. Okay, so the answer. Let me just start with the answer straight up. I'm sorry that I'm not organized, but let me start with the answer straight up. Um, First of all, I'll go into history so that we are versed with some of the history. In the past, there was a time when Dash grew in popularity. Dash is a cryptocurrency.
We lost Terry voice.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay, okay.
Sorry, we are here. We can hear.
Okay, there's a time when Dash, it's a cryptocurrency, was popular around the time Steemit was in its, not too early stages, but in the past. At that time, the price of Dash was, it was not very high, but then people were attributing the rise in price for Dash to their style of marketing. Basically, they got a woman, her name is Amanda, and she, I don't really know the method, for or the strategy for Dash, but they likely used Amanda and advertise. Hello? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So yes, so at that time,
Yay!
yes, people grew concerned about Steem's approach when it comes to mainstreamity. The question is, why are they not conforming to the norms? Why are they not using conventional ads? Stuff like that. Why aren't they getting a face? A very powerful figure face, perhaps a woman. And there's some women that were came into the picture as well. It was a discussion that concerned community, and especially at the time, they also got a marketing person. His name is Sir Vanik. I don't know if he's still with Steemit, but that was the case in the past. He's a guy, um, and they opened. Steemit did something, that concerned people. And no, I'm not talking as if I've discussed anything with Steemit. Everything I say involves no books. Like I didn't read it anywhere. I just apply real life, which I really know, you know, and I have a special understanding of humans, and I believe whatever the tech is, humans are involved. So that's the dimension I use when I understand things. So at the time, people were concerned. Why not conventional ads? Why not get a marketing person that's a powerful figure? Maybe a woman as well. There were different concerns then, but still, it did something which was genius according to me. According to me, I've not, like I said, I've not discussed anything with Steemit, but according to me, and I see much of what Steem has done as genius, when it comes to their marketing approach. For me, I like organic because I found Steemit through the search engines. And I didn't find Steemit the first time. I mean, I didn't join Steemit the first time. Because in truth, I was apprehensive. So, unlike is the perception, most people may not jump on Steemit even at the sight of money or at the sight of Steemit offering money. Because people that have used the internet for a long time, especially in nations where your hope has been dashed many times, you become afraid of hoping or apprehensive when it comes to hoping. So even when another hope lays bare, you you're scared of attempting to hope again. So in truth, I didn't join Steemit the first time I saw Steemit, but the name Steemit stuck in my head. So there was a time when I even, I told you that I researched the man. I didn't read the white papers. I went to figure out the substance of the man. And then I used to see, I used to try to determine it from his elements, impromptu elements in the comments and his reaction to stimuli. And that was where I saw that the name Steemit involved his mom. So Ned's mom was part of when they were trying to figure out what name to give. And then I started to appreciate the name Steemit because Steemit as a name stuck in my head. Yes, I saw Steemit at first because before I found Steemit, I was in research mode, non-stop. So, but Steemit stuck in my head in the very first time. It appealed to something in my human and it stuck. So the very second time, it appealed even more. And this time it was organic. But not only organic, the first time it was organic, I saw it through a blog post. But I had no like real chemistry or connection with the author, amongst other things. When I saw Stated the second time, this time I read the post and there was chemistry. So a particular author appealed to my soft spot through a blog post and I joined Steemit. This was all organic. I was researching, using the search engines, my own, search queries, and I found Steemit and joined. Now I'm a product of like um, organic entry. Now this is a slow method, you will say, agreed, but I've been here long term, whether it's good or bad, and I've seen beauty. I've seen Steemit in up to spanless level of beauty. Okay, so that aside, um, now I imagine a situation where every blog, every search query on Google has a result that involves Steem. Whether it's busy, utopian, Steam geeks, whatever. And that was where I was look. I mean, that's how I look at it. Although that's how I look at. That's where I see genius. I don't know if it was preempted or if it was conscious. Whatever the case, I see genius in the tactic of, passing through the search engines. And I imagine a case where if you're looking for an iPhone, you type in Google, iPhone, you see a Steemit result, or maybe a busy.org result, or something related to Steem. So at the time, that was the concern, the marketing strategy. Another thing that Steemit did then, the person that was in charge of marketing and Draki as well, was they opened it up to the community. They left marketing in the hands of the community. Now I don't know the model for like, maybe promo mentors or, Steam promo, there are different projects on Steam, but I'm very sure that these are products of Steemit's method when it comes to marketing. And this helps me see another dimension or another paradigm that I've been seeing all along when it comes to Steem. And that paradigm is anyone, or maybe everyone. In my case, I like to say everyone, but I've been seeing anyone. And according to me, that's also genius. It may not be the same in the eyes of everyone, but according to me, when you remove barriers to entry and you involve anyone, your market becomes billions. Mama Earth has billions. And many concepts on Earth did not take cognizance of billions in the creation of their model. Facebook, I'm not in Mark Zuckerberg's mind, but I'm very sure that in the model of Facebook, there was no billions involved. Well, it may have been involved, but not in the model. Because and that's why, according to me, you will see Facebook buying the audience. Maybe WhatsApp, gets another 1 billion users. Facebook will buy it. Instagram has 1 billion users. Facebook will buy it. You know, so to take cognizance of the entire globe, only blockchain came close. Because for Facebook to have done it, well, maybe he would have had to come live in the Philippines for 10 years and gone to live in you know gone to live in Nigeria, or anyway, that aside. So I was looking. That's concerned people on Steemit in the past, and it's also concerning people now. What's Steemit's plan when it comes to growth? Why are they not appearing in cryptocurrency events, stuff like that? Now I don't have intel, direct intel, but based on what I perceive, I've always seen that from the very beginning. I never saw Steemit as the main, the vision, I mean the vision within, no, the dream within the vision. I never saw Steemit.com as that. I saw Steemit in the same way I'm playing with SteamGigs.org. If you'll notice SteamGigs.org, it's like a sandbox for all the other interfaces that I plan to have, like teardrops, surpassing Google. If you go to, there's a segment of SteamGigs.org that hosts and is forming as a sandbox for those other interfaces. And I use too much. I use every of my posts as part of the curriculum. So for me, I see beauty in what Steemit is doing, even though it concerns many in the community. Um, what I see the main vision is, I may be wrong, but that's what I see, is create as many gateways to the Steem blockchain. Well, let's put Steemit.com aside. Create as many gateways to the Steem blockchain so that Steem becomes uncensorable. This is what I perceive. So, assuming Facebook, because we all know of the state of the world, in truth, even on the internet, it's controlled to a large extent. Before blockchain coming in, we know that Google controls matters. We know that Facebook is controlling matters. You know, and so they can decide to let me block Steemit.com as a domain. But what if there were thousands of gateways to the Steem blockchain? Then you will have to also block, busy.org. You may have to block scarletmedia.org. So this is what I envision. I don't know where it's coming from, but this is what I envision. Then, if you add anyone into the picture, like for example, SNTs, where it's headed, hoping that things play out accordingly. I also see anyone in that picture, and especially when communities come to life, you know, to where you give anyone the ability to grow a community and sustain it. anyone the ability to have a token, exchangeable for Steem. This is where I see the main vision. And Steemit applied an approach where they're tackling like scalability, because going back to history, scalability was also a factor. I see Steemit has made many changes. I'm not very sure, but it used to be like graphene before. I don't know if it's still graphene, but I saw a change where they moved to like app base, for the sake of scalability. Scalability used to be an issue before. So according to me, I think it's a great course to take if you can make Steam able to handle billions or millions when the time comes. Then you market Steam and it starts to crash when the millions are in it. Well, these are slow approaches, but according to me, I see beauty in it. So when it comes to concern, like the recent concern, I don't want to mention names, but there are posts, there are discussions about it, and someone was concerned, and he asked me. He was not feeling very. I mean, he was concerned basically. This was my explanation to him, and I'm sorry that today I'm not very organized in my thought process. But I just wanted to answer this question in the open because I feel it may be, this question may linger as an unpopped question or may have been popped by many Steemians. And I wanted, everyone to see my perspective and maybe see these matters in new light. Are you still able to hear me?
Yes, Terry, we can still hear
Okay.
Yes,
you.
you can.
Yeah, we are here.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
We
Like
can
I'm
hear you.
serious. Yes, thank you. My
Yeah.
brain is not organized. I'm really sorry. Like, um, I don't really want to talk about my situation, but I was telling someone that I spoke to before the talk. I was explaining, how I suffer, and I really suffer. I suffer every minute. So right now, my brain is not organized, and there was no real preparation. Or I usually don't prepare. I just come here, and the state of my mind wasn't in order. That's why I'm shaky and stuff like that. But I just hope that I was able to dispense something. So at this point, I would like to jump to another thing. Um, I wanted to talk of what I was trying to do with the YouTube channel, because sometimes the way I write my posts, the context may be missed out on. So I like to explain the context better here. So what I'm trying to do with that is it's something grand as well. You know, there was something I did in the past. It was called Hooray Brigade. Basically, like I was talking to Mermaid Vampire earlier today. She has a niche where she innovates contests. I was trying to tell her that you can make the small things carry out. Uh, oh, my mind is shaky. Okay, you can make the small things. You can use those very small looking things, even down to your simple looking post, your simple looking contest. You can infuse greatness into it, that it starts to break every barrier around the world. It starts to appeal to the soft spot of everyone that is human. It transcends nation, color, age. I was trying to tell her that. I wrote a post recently where I was trying to highlight the different paradigms that I add into a very simple looking Steemit post. So earlier I was trying to discuss with her as well what she can do with her contest during the process of innovation, to where everyone will be talking about her. Everyone will start to storm her chats. Now the question is it possible? And the answer is, plain yes. But this is not the discussion for today. I just want to try to highlight the things I do. When you see any small thing that I do, I broke down to do those things. There's so much innovation into it. So when I go to YouTube and I say, okay, I want to start doing YouTube videos, you know, many of the things that I put into the innovation are not in the books. There are too many paradigms related to real life and my understanding of human, and perhaps some insights that I don't know where it's coming from. That I put into those things. So let me break down what I'm trying to do with the YouTube. There's always a grand picture when I do something. In reality, I think of generations yet unborn in what everything I'm doing. It's beyond me. I think of you. I've been thinking of you since I was 13, before I ever knew each one. So the YouTube is not just a way to promote Steemit. That's just one of the paradigm. What I'm doing there is tied also to a possible interface in the future. It's tied to something that I used to do in the past. It's called Hooray Brigade. Basically, what Hooray Brigade is I used to have so many chats as well. Many people want to get information, want to know how to excel and steam it and stuff like that. And most times when I engage in one chat conversation, it takes hours, even though I plan on spending minutes. Earlier today, I spoke with Maverick. I didn't intend to talk for 5 minutes. I don't know if I was maybe I spent up to an hour or maybe 30 minutes. Earlier I spoke to Mermaid Vampire. I didn't intend to spend much time, but I ended up spending very long time. And just before the call came in, someone called me. It was going to be a very short conversation. It ended up more than an hour. So that time I was trying to reach as many people because I really care, and that was when I created Hooray Brigade. Basically, it was no longer to matter if you were Mino, or veteran. Hooray Brigade was a channel, was part of Steam Gigs, and basically what I told people to do is to look for any comments, go on the trending page, go and sit on the comments. This is something you can learn. It's like a stunt. Like I was telling Mermaid Vampire earlier today to be stunty, because this is your edge. There are so many people using the Steam blockchain. You have to be stunty to stand out. You have to be technical. So basically, Hillary Brigade was go and sit on someone's comments and entertain the people. But basically, I wanted to not miss out on anyone with unpopped questions or, lingering questions. I wanted to strengthen the conviction on anyone, but at the same time, I wanted to help Minos not only to learn, but to answer questions by learning the answers and then getting rewards. So basically, if they saw a question in the comments, like those times people who were trending and cannot tend to all their comments, then they go and seek out the answers. They will learn and then teach it in the comments to the Mino who has those lingering questions. Then bring the comment thread or URL to a channel on Steam Gigs, and I will vote on it. That was what Hooray Brigade was about. So basically, I was trying to grow Steemit inside out to help Minos become whale inside and to tend to my many chats. That was what Hooray Brigade was about. Now this video is in line with that, but it's an upgrade. And why am I coming in with videos? Another paradigm is the state of the community. At this time, the community needs strength. There are many things going on. The community needs strength. It needs to be told. There were many people who don't exactly need money. It's not money that's the solution. Many times it may be the timeliness of the small deeds. that count the most. There are levels of suffering. When they give you money, you will reject it. If you're on the sick bed in adverse pain, and they tell you, you know, come on an airplane, you will say no. So sometimes it's about the timeliness of the event more than the event. So these are paradigms that you should also add to your Steemit journey. Whether it's a very simple contest or a post, sometimes it's just the timeliness that will make it trend. It's just the timeliness that gives it its greatness, its stuntiness, its beauty, more so than the number of words. So most of what I'm doing now, like the video thing, is there's a timeliness factor to it. At this time, many people, we need inspiration, we need buzz, we need excitement, and maybe we need a measure of me. I'm not saying that I'm anybody, but if I bring, that my haggard looking face, and put it there to tell you I'm there and regardless of situation, I'm digging, I'm grinding, I'm preparing, like an empire, and very soon I will call you. I wanted it to be evident. I wanted to show face. That's one. Number two, it's not all rosy. I'm not going there to tell you the books. I'm only there to open your eyes to what exists within you, your own beauty. I'm there to serve as a mirror, an additional mirror. So apart from that, I wanted to bring in my chats. I have so many chats, and I want to be able to reach out to everyone, as many as possible. And sometimes in chats, people want conversation. Sometimes it's not like they're there to say, "Oh, Terry, I have a link to my post." Sometimes they really want empowerment, they want conversation. So that's why I'm bringing about conversation. So on the YouTube channel, I plan also on answering some of the chats that I'm not able to reach. I want to like dedicate an entire answer session to particular people proactively. Then on Steemit as well, if I see lingering questions, pot questions, I want to dedicate a video to answering them. I want to welcome Steemians, and show my face. But more than that, I want everyone as well to play a role because we're turning to fan style curation. Not curation that's hectic. One that's we are trying to remove barriers to entry to curation while not leaving any stone unturned when it comes to the conviction of a fellow Stemian about light inside the tunnel. So basically, I want to make it easier for everyone so that I answer every possible question as easily as possible. Then I save everything on a landing page. Then, in case you found a comment anywhere on Steemit related to maybe success in life or on Steemit, on Steam, it will no longer matter if you don't know the answer because you can just go to a landing page, pick a video that is closely tied to that question, and then drop it as a comment. I want to simplify things. So reaching everyone with a piece of me, you know, it's not like I'm anything. Everyone just give me the privilege, and I'm grateful. So I want to accomplish that. I want to involve everyone to where everyone is stamped whale and true celebrity inside. It's not like the real. Anyway, let me not go into too much details. But whether obliviously or consciously, if you listen to those videos and you use it to engage in the comments, whether obliviously or consciously, something will eat into you. I'm not. I just want to be factual. That's one of the beauty of Steemit. Many times obliviously, we just have fun, but we adjust. The day never emptily slips by without our evolving. Steemit is just the play toy. It's just like you want a baby. A baby is doesn't like to have their bath. Then you make the soap in shape of toys. So that the baby is just playing with a toy. Maybe you make a soap in the shape of a duck or a duckling, and then the baby is just playing with the duckling and then bathing in the process. So that's where Steem's beauty lies, and I want to amplify that. So this is where the video is coming. Basically, I want everyone to join in so the curation is simple. It's no longer so hectic. Like I said with ULOGs, like, I go there, let's say I go there during curation, and I already saw a comment there. Maybe my video will telling someone, oh, thank you for doing a ULOG, and we're joining in reshaping the entire internet with fresh pieces of you. Maybe I already saw my video there, then I will just walk away. I'll gain fulfillment, even inspiration that someone has been there and been a fan, which is what I represent. That everyone, imbibes humanity is the brother next to you. Then I will be encouraged as well. And curation will become easier because someone has been there and done it. And this is where I'm trying to take things to. It may not be very obvious, within a post because there are there's context, behind all those things. So I'm just trying to explain. I'm sorry that I'm rushing it. I'm just trying to explain the picture for what is going on there. And beyond that, there's also an interface involved because I always like to take whatever I'm doing into spamlessness before I drop it. So before I drop something, I've already, conceptualized it into the farthest possible place. Maybe not the farthest, but at least far. Then on the go, I try to evolve it into spamlessness. But before I drop something, I usually have pacing. I'm not someone to be triggered by events. I will let things fall, I'll pace things regardless. So, for those videos, I've thought even down to an interface where I can respond with a video or, a voice note in the comments. I can have that option. It's very powerful. It also tells that there are humans on Steam. It paints Steam in new light. It makes it more social. And even if we want to maintain privacy, then maybe just a voice note. Maybe not video. So I don't have to upload it on YouTube. I just have a condenser where you can tend to comments with a voice note. You can quickly empower someone. You can quickly inspire someone. This is where I'm looking at it until, but that is on the side. So I just want to enlighten us on, the context. And the reason I'm bringing this up is so that you see how much goes into these things, and then you can apply it as well into something as simple as a post. There's so much power in the very simple things because the entire world neglects the simple things. They go into outer space. There's likelihood that tons of people follow the books. So the very simple context. Earlier today, Snook had a video and she spoke about ULOGs. She started my day today. She empowered me. She inspired me. She came into my mind's eye this morning. And basically, she spotted the spottables. She said, how come something as simple as this, no one thought of it? And this is the same game that I would like you to infuse into your Steemit, blogs. Take notice of the simplest, obvious solution first. Forget the nth complexes solution. So if you want to know what's on Bingo's mind, how about try to ask Bingo, Bingo, what's on your mind? But we never take that simple step. What we do instead is we go and study 4 year course of veterinary, then go and do another 4 year course in psychology, then do master's degree in animal psychology, then go to outer space and do apprenticeship under an alien for 2 years, then come back, and we will still. How about just try asking the dog, Bingo, what is on your mind? You want to stop aging. How about simply look for that round clock, the large size clock on the street, and go there and hold the second hand. Keep it stationary and stay there with it. And if you held that minute clock stationary forever, you would have lived forever. Anyway, I'm just joking, but there's no joke involved. Humor has elements of, deep truth. So I'm saying that why I'm bringing all these things out is is still tied to the power of a Steemit post. The next time you're facing that editor, be stunty, like be look at the very simple things, and you know that's where power lies. Much power lies in the hands of the illiterate. At this point, I'm telling you the truth. I don't know where I get this knowledge from, but at this point in the state of the world, much power lies in the hands of the illiterate. So don't overlook them. Maybe try it as well. Those very non. I don't know. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to put it well, but those very simple looking things. Like I was telling Karen, Mermaid Vampire earlier. Very simple looking contest. Um, she turned it into her niche. And I celebrated her because in reality, hardly will many people take contests as a niche. So you um, I'm sorry. Let me just pause a bit. Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Mr.
okay.
Host.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like my brain is not organized at this very well.
I,
My brain is not
I will
organized,
speak
and
if we
okay.
lose you.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Um, okay. There's no time. Like we're getting close to 1:30, so I'm trying to rush things. Um, Basically, the context for today is all the same. It's it's to give power to those very simple things. Let's go back to those very simple things, and tackle them. So instead of thinking of you know how will a whale, for example, instead of thinking of, oh, let me drop my, or why is this whale not voting me, or no, how do I attract a whale to start voting me. How about you look at the page, the page of the Steemit page. I pay attention to the most minimal detail. Like even that button, the upvote button. I can I can dedicate time to looking at that button and brainstorming around that button. That's where that's because these are where most of the answers lie. Like instead of thinking of going to the end complexes solution, like how do I reach a whale to upvote me, how about you look at that vote button and try to decipher whether a vote is actually free, what a vote really represents, whenever it comes to a whale. Like, I'm not talking of me, I'm not a whale, or I'm just talking of in general, you know, then maybe when you understand that a vote is not free per se, you'll be able to attract it better. Instead of looking at, how about if you understand something as basic as Steam is not money? Do you know where this will take you in your Steemit career? This is what I will touch on in my videos, because you will see the questions and they will be bizarre questions. But I'm telling you, that's where all the power lies. When it comes to like success at this stage in Mama Earth, because Steam is not money. If you answer that simple question, your Steemit game will entirely change, drastically change. Success will be sped up. But that question is very silly looking, very maybe mediocre looking, or very minimalistic looking. But if you conquer these basics, that's where all the power lies. Because let me touch on it a bit. Steam is for example, when it comes to rewards, you know when you start to lose your freedom on someone's earning. Now the question is this: what if Steam was 7 cents? Then perhaps that person will be earning like maybe $10, and perhaps then you will not bother. I'm telling you, you won't. When someone sends you a memo, 0.01 Steam, and you suddenly say it's spam, I'm telling you, if Steam was 10, like $100 worth, and someone sends you 0.01 Steam, you will no longer call it spam. So Steam is not money. This, and when you tackle these very simple basic things, freedom will enter your game. And when freedom enters your game, you will jump. And when you jump, you will soar. And when you soar, you will be flying. So I want us to tackle those very simple things, in our STEMI journey, down to the basics, your very next post, curation. How about you understudy, human behavior? I mean, let's not go far. Let's not go far. But the thing is, my phone. I don't have a phone, and the way things are going, it may be postponed. But I will still try on this phone to just do videos. I want to try to shorten the videos, but the thing is, the context usually grows out of measure. So sometimes the video grows in length as well, but I want to keep it as, very short. And those videos, they look like, they look like nonsense, they look like generic, but millions. I don't want to be go materialistic. I'm not materialistic in reality, because I don't. My notion is money should seek you. You are to look money in the eyes and tell it you're bigger than it. It's to drop its gaze and come after you. That's my notion. And everything lies in just attaining the awesomest version of human, and things will pave way. You know, Things will be able to afford to pave way on a particular day for you. Anyway, there's a lot of context to that as well. Anyway, so that's why I wanted to highlight all these things, because I want to resound how much I put into these things, how many details I take note of, how many details I don't neglect, and so that you can also add that to on your Steemit journey. And in the last video, I talked of, I mean, in some of the videos on the YouTube, I talked of life, applying life. Because in life, in real life, there are very simple things, like common sense. Like common sense. When you apply that to your Steemit game, many things will instantly adjust, for the better. So and and apart from that, you will have an edge. Apart from that, you will instantly have an edge. So let me see the time. I'm sorry, I talked too much. This is 12:59. 12:59. Okay, so basically, I'm glad that I was able to explain the video thing. So please, if possible, listen to the videos and try to. There are some people that do this, without me saying it, but don't overlook these very tiny things because power lies there. That street, that person you see. I used to tell people that I have a coat, one of my coats, it's an original coat, but it's usable, it's free, is most times the ever missing piece, or let me say, ever missing piece of your puzzle. Oh, when it comes to jackpots, to breakthrough, lies as redundant information in an anonymous head. You will have to find that particular head and dig it. Now, the man on the street, even the man that, he has like a mental ailment on the street, the ever missing piece of your puzzle can be inside that head. This time it doesn't matter, whether someone, anything external, whether we all have one head. I usually say that a head will fit in a helmet. It doesn't matter if you're fat or if you're black or white, your head will fit in a helmet. The coconut will not fall on your head. I wonder why. It will not choose the head, and if it falls, it will not choose the head it falls on. Whether you're black or white or fat, that head. So now we're not talking of, I'm just trying to build on the context in those very simple lines. So now it doesn't matter the state or status of the person, we all have that same head and one head. So you have to find that anonymous head and dig it. So don't play with any head. When it comes to conversations, when it comes to even jokes, process those jokes. Because in those casual conversations, what you have been seeking forever can pop up. It can just be a very simple joke, or someone just played with a word like maybe surpassion or something like that. It just popped up, and maybe surpassion can become a hit record. Turn like surpassion, the video he did. What if it went viral and he got 1 million? I mean, millions of views, and then a sponsor contacted him. Or YouTube pays him ad revenue. So these are the basic things that I want us to establish, and it will drastically adjust our game when it comes to Steemit. Common sense, real life. Anyway, I'm talking too much. So I'm just passionate about um, helping you value your posts, your the brother next to you, the Steemian that leaves you a comment, the Mino vote, the Mino that voted on your post. Give those this testimonial essence. In reality, what leads to trending are many factors. Apart from all other factors, if you want to look at votes alone, votes and esteem, everyone plays a role. You know, Sometimes whales go to look at the esteems of minnows and just vote on everybody there. I did curation when I was a minnow, I was doing curation, and many times I don't want to mention, I had that influence of a whale when I was a minnow, and many times some of the triggers was re-steams of another person and Mino. So don't overlook the re-steams of a Mino. You check and you see Mino's re-steam your post, and you're not very joyous. Because like me, I know many users that I go on their page consciously and I vote on all their re-steams because I know that these people have loved this. They've done curation. There are many factors. Mino votes. Another thing votes do is not only rewards. That's why sometimes I have to, because a vote doesn't only give you rewards. It also helps with visibility, and all those tiny looking Mino votes, they add to visibility. They can form trigger. A comment of a minnow can leave a network for a whale. Like many times, I do curation and I found on another person's post that I don't know through a network created in the comments. Like a minnow just made a regular comment and mentioned someone in the comments, like, oh, just a generic thing, and I follow that trail and I get on someone's blog and try to make his day. We're on a social space. You don't know the parameters for anybody. And me, I'm telling you my own parameters. So on a social space, you cannot determine, everyone cannot be the same. So there's so many triggers. There are minnows that have all they need to do is go behind the scene and tell a whale, "Oh, please! I saw this very nice post. Kindly look at it," and the whale will be there. I'm saying these things because I did these things when I was a minnow. So uh, I'm just saying it because I did all these things when I was a minnow. So basically, give the tiniest things testimonial essence, and the game will change instantly. So whether it's a laptop, I'm going to answer a question. It looks like a very funny question. Like, can I succeed on Steam if I use just a phone or something like that? Just very silly questions, but I'm hoping that by answering the simplest questions, I will pop the unpopped questions and touch on them. So, because like my phone, like I said, I don't have a phone. My laptop is an old laptop, and it's always, freezing to enormous extent, and the screen always goes, blank. When I'm doing something, it will always choose to go blank. But I'm still in it. I like that rough route. I like to hit my laptop, let it come back on. you know and one reason I use it is because I give it testimonial essence as bigger to me than a laptop. So, and this phone that I'm using is very special because it's doing wonders right now. I'm able to communicate as bad as it is. So yeah, so you know that's what I tell people. Like, when we try to raise money for them, together, maybe on Steam Secret or U-Loggers, there's an entire curriculum where I would like them to buy a testimonial gift, but I always want to make sure that they understand the context of what I'm trying to build on, because I really want you to give what you buy testimonial essence. It shouldn't be just another laptop. It should be, you take the laptop home, you unbox it, you sit down, you pray, you shed tears, and then a special kind of fire fills you up, and you fold your fist, and you you punch thin air, and then you suddenly become strong and invincible, and you're ready to go. And that way, your next post, people will feel the power. It will no longer be a regular post. If you had to go through that story to write a post, it's just like the food on the street, tasting different from the food in a restaurant. Those dirty looking canteen, very dirty looking canteen. Go there and taste the food, and you will be instantly told of story. It may not be better than that in the restaurant, but it will come out different. The taste will be different. So I'm telling you, if you did this journey, I'm telling you, before you post, then fire that post out, and you'll see wonders. Anyway, I talk. Oh, that's the gecko. Okay, the gecko is feeling something. Anyway, that's my point. Let me say the time. The time is 1:10. Okay, okay. So I think at this point, we should let's quickly talk. Anyone that has questions, so that I won't eat all the time. Anyone that has questions can ask, and if you have something to present, you can also do so. It can be a contest and or something. At this point, you can also give it to Maverick. Then Maverick will maybe send it to me, like using the DM or something. Or and if you want to discuss it, because I'm looking at the time when there will be like a format where you'll be able to pitch something before the talk, so we can have numbers. But since this is not organized, you can just contact Maverick for now. Or just to spread it a bit, you can also contact Mermaid Vampire as well. Just leave them the links. But if you want to discuss it, you can also discuss it, briefly. Then, if you have questions, you can also ask.